When you think about a country, the first thing that comes to your mind is how they live. How is the life in that country? It is perfect. My life will be better if I live in that country. And I know that a lot of people think about that when they move to our country, Chile. But Chile is actually very far from that. At the end of the last year, a whole revolution started. On October 18, a social outbreak happened. It all started the day before in response to a raise in the Santiago Metro's subway fare. This situation was crucial, and people didn't accept it. For years, the abuses in our country were part of our daily life. Robs, murders, violations, injustice, poverty, inequality from the government made us feel like we didn't have the power to change that. The rage consumed us, but the fear was bigger. We had the fear to be the next on the list, to be another disappeared person, even if we are now in a democratic country, because it never felt like that. For people, this democracy was always the sister of the government of Augusto Pinochet. The difference it was just that this time was covered. This social outbreak, or call it as Chile woke up or the revolution of 30 pesos, changed and it keeps changing the life of Chilean persons. At the beginning, students were who started this whole revolution, but after a while, more people followed them. People who weren't students, fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, workers, students, children, and even the old people. They were all united for the same reason. This wasn't just a game that was started for losing classes maybe, or even for being more rebel like a lot of people thought. This was a real situation that affected everyone in this country, but the students were the brave ones that decided to stop all the abuses that the government has made for years. Also, this wasn't just a simple revolution. Chile was the example for other countries. A lot of countries started to mobilize because they saw Chile as a brave country and they felt encouraged to do the same. Chile was in everywhere. In every newspaper, in every news around the world. Even songs were created by artists to tell in the artistic way the story of our country. But not everything was just admiration. Sadness and sorrow were part too. When the president, Sebastián Piñera, said that we are in war, and he also said we have a big enemy, referring to the protesters, yes, he was right. We were in a war. But it was the war that they created. People were not against people. No, people were against them. Against the government, against the abuses, against the injustices, against the lies, and they were the only ones that couldn't see it. After the October 18, the situation escalated quickly. Carabineros de Chile reacted in a negative way. Well, the government also did it, but they were the face of the violence. When barricades were built, police responded with tear gas and water cannon. Also, Sebastián Piñera announced a state of emergency in the whole country, allowing the armed forces to patrol the city alongside the Carabineros de Chile, militarized national police force, but it wasn't the worst part of all. Many lives were destroyed. Can you imagine a government called by itself democratic killing their own people? Because that is what they did. Carabineros de Chile and their armed forces shot at hundreds of people. Most of them lost one eye or even both. Some others have to live in a hell by being tormented or sexually abused by them. And also, some of them died. After all this, some changes were made, such as the cabinet reshuffle and some reforms in the education, health, and pension system. But these changes are just another lie from part of them. The government thought that these changes would make people feel more happy or satisfied, but it didn't, because people woke up and they are not going to stop until they have dignity and justice for all those who died or lost in somehow their lives. It's now 2020, and when the PSU, a university entrance exam, had to be taken, it was disrupted by protesters. And our goal is change the constitution. And that dream can be a reality now. So please, don't forget to vote on April 26. Thanks.